What's good, y'all? It's Too Generic. Back at it again with your host Cam
Rich.
and today we're talking about NBA trade season.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 weeks left until February 6th, and it's a lot of interesting things that are going to happen. It's going to be a new league, and we don't know. Honestly, this is all potential. No insider info. This is too generic. We're just two generic white guys. We're just doing our thing. But Rich, what has you most excited about the trade deadline?
I mean, maybe this Cam Johnson news, so then Cam Thomas can take over. Hopefully, Cam Johnson gets traded. We get more Cam Thomas minutes, more Cam Thomas shots.
I wasn't even talking specific players, but you're speaking my language. I really like this. Really talking to me. Just Cam Thomas right off the bat, first minute. Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the coffee I needed right there.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. You know what? I'll break out the trade machine right now. It's funny that you said that.
I thought it'd already be ready by now.
Oh, my God. Let me show you the first trade I already have.
Oh, God. How many trades do we got?
Right here.
Man. Hold
on. Can you see it well? Yeah, so it's on the right. That's the way it presents on Spot Track. I like Spot Track. It seems to be the most accurate out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually talk about like the second apron. See, this team will be a first apron hard cap team. They really break it down. This team will be a space non-tax team. Anyway, Jaden Ivey was a lottery pick. Prospected to be better than Cam Thomas, a 27th pick of the draft. He just broke his leg. He's got a lot of upside potential. People see Westbrook in him. People see a lot of different things in Jaden Ivey. I've heard a little Iguodala. I've heard Westbrook and Iguodala. I feel like have been the main two. But have you seen any good comparisons for Jaden Ivey, or just like his game and see upside potential in him?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, he's not an efficient scorer, but he's definitely an athlete.
Super athlete.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have Isaiah Stewart. You got Beef Stew going over there, adding a little more paint presence, which they actually need. The Nets need size. He also is he's not tall, but he's bigger, and they need that too.
No, but yeah, he definitely plays like a big man.
Right.
He definitely plays more than what his size actually is.
And now he can stretch it out a little bit too. He can knock down a three here or there. Like I like Beef Stew's game.
And he just gets in fights with everybody. He got in a fight. He
gets in fights with everybody. LeBron James elbowed the fuck out of him in a dirty, cheap shot and cut his eyebrow. He had a reason to go nuts.
And then LeBron apologized to him, and then he lost his mind like a moron.
What, LeBron? You busted my eyebrow, bro.
He didn't do it on purpose. When has LeBron ever been a dirty player?
I don't know, but I will say,
I mean, he elbowed him
back to the slow-mo and everything. LeBron definitely throws the bow.
He elbowed him, there's no doubt. But I mean, LeBron apologized to him, and Isaiah Stewart lost his mind.
It was borderline like Ron Artest to Harden levels.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not. It was not even anywhere near that. Ron Artest cocked it back. He was ready to elbow. I mean, that was absurd.
Yo, LeBron cocked it back.
No, he didn't. He brought it all the way back.
Yeah, Ron Artest went nuts. He went UFC slaughter. He really went for a kill.
He was trying to knock out James Harden. There was no doubt about that. He was definitely trying to knock out James Harden. LeBron was.
Anyway, we got Cam Johnson. I want more shooting for Cade Cunningham. And when you send Cam Johnson and Cam Thomas, that's a lot of shooting. Plus, the other reason why I say this move could actually realistically happen is because of Trajan Langdon, the former vice GM over there at the Nets who drafted Cam Thomas. He was the main proponent in it and seen the potential and said that they should draft him with Sean Marks. And then he gets his own GM job over in the Pistons. He sees Cam Thomas getting mistreated, underutilized, underpaid. He's still on a $4 million deal. He's averaging 25 points.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Like, this it's ridiculous. They're about to play him again next year when it comes to restricted free agency. And if nobody offers Cam Thomas money, he's going to get paid like $8 million next year or something ridiculous. 12 million, 10 million. And he's a 25-point scorer. He should be getting what Jalen Green got. Jalen Green got 32 million a year. Franz Wagner's getting 35 million a year. He got the max. They all got drafted the same year. Evan Mobley got the max. These guys all got the max, and Cam Thomas is on a $4 million deal.
Crazy.
It's crazy. But it is what it is. His new contract is coming up, and it needs to match what he's doing. His production is more than what Jalen Green is doing. So it's like when you compare and say, why the hell is he getting 32 million? And that wasn't even the rookie max. They underpaid Jalen Green, and he got 32 million. That just tells you everything. So he won't be on this type of contract. So a team better trade for him now to make it work, and then, pay him this next upcoming season. The problem is there's only like 2 teams with cap space, and it just doesn't work out.
So you could see both. You could see the Nets trading away both Cams.
Well, that was the irony in what you said was they're going to trade Cam Johnson to open it up for Cam Thomas and have him be the only Cam out there and the only scorer. This would bring a lot of shooting to the Pistons. And I think it's a lot more shooting than what Isaiah Stewart and Jaden Ivey bring. Jaden Ivey can knock down a 3 too. He can get streaky and hot. The form's a little weird, but it goes in. I liked him at where was he at? Purdue?
Yeah.
He was at Purdue with Edie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was saying. Edie should have got drafted the year before. This dude's a lottery pick. What are we doing here? He won MVP of the NCAA, and then he won it another year in a row, and they're still saying this guy is an NBA player. He's too big and slow and blah, blah, blah. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And Ivy he played 30 games this season. He was shooting a career high 40.9% from 3, and his career average was 35.2%. So he's definitely up that.
Correct.
So
he shoots a lot off the dribble too.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know. I just don't know if he matches with Cade better than what Cam Thomas could at the shooting guard. Plus, I think Cade needs the ball taken out of his hands a little bit. You call Cam Thomas a ball hog, you call him whatever. He's an efficient scorer.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean,
Cade needs the ball out of his hands. He's sloppy. I was watching him last night. He's chasing balls out of bounds that he's dribbling. He tried to go left. He just ends up running out of bounds with the ball. It's crazy. He doesn't really have the handle that he should by now. I think he had a better handle in college.
But he likes the ball in his hands more.
He does. But if he wants to win, he needs to cough it up a little bit and figure out who else can score. Because he doesn't always have, the blow-by speed to get by guys.
Right.
Sometimes he's got the size and the length and everything, but he doesn't always have that burst. And he doesn't got a bag to go to. I know somebody with a bag.
But also something's working because they have their this is one of their best starts of the season in a while now.
Well, he's got real shooters around him too. Don't forget. I mean, you got guys like
Tim Hardaway
Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. You got some snipers on each side of you every time. So yeah, Cade's set up well. And if you want something for the future, not just relying on Malik Beasley's, we've seen damn near 10 years of Malik Beasley now. We know what he is. He's, shooter off the bench, maybe your 5th starter, potentially. He has moments where he looks like a top 5 player in the NBA, and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? You ever have that moment with Malik Beasley?
That he's a top 5. I would say he would be one of the best shooters in the NBA, not a top 5 player in the NBA.
But there were times I remember when Malik Beasley was getting real minutes on the Timberwolves. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but he was shooting great.
I know, and there was a stretch where he was like averaging 20 plus, and I was watching some of those games. I'm like, he's cooking dudes. Like, he looks unguardable and just so bouncy and athletic and can shoot from wherever. he does some things. I like Malik Beasley, but I mean, we know where he is as a role player.
And I think
But he
you could
has great
say,
stretches where sometimes you look like there isn't a player in the league that could have guarded that move. That's
and
what I mean. Like sometimes Beasley looks like he could provide something extra, but not now. I'm talking years ago. He's a little older now, not as ambitious, more set in his role. What were you
but,
saying?
but but I think you could say the same thing about Tim Hardaway Jr., where he goes down these stretches where he
Yeah.
can't miss from three either, and he looks
Right,
great.
Tim Hardaway Jr. Right, the same type of streaky ass player. Like they're like two J.R. Smiths on the same team.
Yeah, just a little worse. Just a little worse. Not as athletic either. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get on these hot stretches and then they go on these incredibly cold stretches. But they've been pretty good so far this season.
Yeah. So I mean, if you put more stability, I think Cam Thomas is a more stable player than Tim Hardaway Jr. right now.
Right.
A better stable shooting guard.
Mm.
Cam Johnson, more stable small forward than Malik Beasley. And Tim Hardaway Jr. They're kind of interchangeable in 2-3 in that offense.
Could you put Cam Johnson on somebody like the Grizzlies? To add
We can see. I just thought it was funny that you randomly started with some Cam Thomas stuff. It kind of triggered me. I'm sorry. All right, let's go to some Brooklyn Nets and some Grizzlies talk.
Because
I already got the Jimmy stuff lined up for us. I got a bunch of Jimmy.
Because I feel like the Grizzlies are more of a contender than the Pistons are, and they were saying he's probably going to go to a contender.
So let's say the Grizzlies want a shooter. What do they do?
I don't even know.
So right now they're trading $22.5 million. So when I go here, I see maybe Marcus Smart.
He's got a good contract, right?
But the thing is that the team needs to dump an extra contract to do this. So it would most likely be like
Vincent Williams.
I mean, Vince Williams is solid. I think they want to keep Vince Williams.
He's hardly played this year.
For the play, I know he has hardly played because Pippen has been so much better. So maybe let's say they take a Vincent Williams back. Now this trade is successful. It would also probably require picks.
But if they get picks, I was gonna say because I just
think Grizzlies would probably have to send. Let's see how much firsts they have. How many firsts? They got all their firsts.
Yeah, because
they have all of their not all of their seconds, but they have some seconds.
Because if it was just those two players straight up, that would be a horrible trade for the Nets.
Yeah, so let's say next year's 2025 first round pick. It's a deep draft. Got a lot of things. You could also package together that first and maybe another first that the Nets have to get a better first, trade up to get 2 picks for one. The same thing. Who just did that? The Suns? Didn't the Suns just do a 3-for-1?
Yeah, because they're trying to set up the trade for Butler.
Yeah.
They did that earlier this week.
Yep. So they did a 3-for-1 trade with, I think, Oklahoma. Right?
No, it wasn't. It was some shitty team.
It was a shitty team, but it was somebody with a lot of picks.
Hold on.
Some shitty team. I thought it was Oklahoma simply because they still have a lot of picks.
Suns trade.
I'm forgetting who they did the 3-for-1.
Draft picks. Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Oh man, this is the trade show, and I blanked out.
The Phoenix Suns are trading their 2031 unprotected first round to the Utah Jazz.
Oh, the Jazz. Okay.
That would be a shitty team.
Yeah, that would be officially. I agree. Would the Jazz be a good fit for Cam Thomas? Got a comment. I think the Jazz would be all right, but I don't think it's honestly the best fit for him. Simply because they have Keontae George. They have Colin Sexton. They got guys already in the shooting guard role. I don't know what they're going to do with Sexton. I don't know if he's a trade piece somewhere for a contender. Imagine him coming off the bench for the Cavs. So whenever Garland or Mitchell comes out, you got Sexton. I mean, he's been on the Cavs before. I know that's a team he was already on, but
Mhm.
I mean, he could go to plenty of places. Imagine him on the Grizz. Imagine Sexton, same money, kind of $20 million. What we're looking at right now. So I like this. This is decent. So let's say, yeah, that pick and that pick passed. It's a successful trade.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would never put Cam Thomas on the Jazz. I would hope he goes to a contender or something. They don't look like a contender right now, and they already have a bunch of guards, so they're gonna have to trade away because they still have Clarkson. They got Sexton. They got Keontae George.
To me, I'd see Cam Thomas as. Do you remember those quarterbacks in the NFL that like these Russell Wilsons that
Mm-hmm.
you would draft a young quarterback on a rookie deal and then build the defense around him and win a championship? Remember that was kind of the theory for a
Mm-hmm.
while, and a lot of teams did that. The Patriots did that. They had a quarterback on a rookie deal with Brady, built championship defenses and offenses and special team units around him while he was cheap. And then when he became expensive, he was that much more experienced and knew how to lead a squad and knew what it took to be that good and knew the standard he had to set and tell his defense and to keep that in line and keep everything else in line. So I think potentially you have a guy like that, like a rookie QB deal. You could bring in a 25 a night scorer, a legit, almost an all-star if he wasn't hurt. He definitely would be in the all-star conversation if he
Mm-hmm.
played all 40 something games already.
Yeah.
He would be an all-star. So it's like, imagine you could drop that on your team without even doing anything to your cap. You might even be able to trade him for a pick. You might have $4 million in cap space just laying around. $4 million's nothing. It's peanuts. It's damn near a veteran's minimum. Veteran's minimum is $2 million now. He's on his rookie, the last year of his rookie deal.
I just don't know what you do with him. I don't know where he'd go.
All right. Well, think about this. You want me to blow your mind right now?
Miami, maybe Miami. Could Cam Thomas go to Miami?
Why would he go to Miami? That
I
would
don't.
be cool. That would be very cool.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, what other? I mean, would
So
you
is
rather?
that what Jimmy Butler's throwing a fit because he wants Cam Thomas? Is that what we're saying right now?
I guess, but
I'm with it. I'm with it.
I mean,
I believe it.
at this point, would you rather have Terry Rozier or Cam Thomas?
The problem, the thing that I'm telling you is you could trade Cam Thomas for fucking peanuts. You could trade him for Josh Richardson right now.
All right, so what? You go to Miami.
How's
Help
this
them.
trade fail? Oh,
Help
the Heat. The Heat are actually a first apron team.
the better situation than the Nets.
Wow. Hold on. So let's say they trade Hayward Highsmith.
Mm.
Boom. Hayward Highsmith, and the Heat will trade their 2027 first round. They might not even have to trade a first rounder for Cam Thomas because nobody views him as high as I do. So I think you got to trade 10 picks for this guy.
2 second rounders or something.
Yeah, let's say the 2031 second round. Nah, I got to give him a first round. I can't be disrespectful on my stream. The 20. How about this? The 2029 first and the 2031 second with Hayward Highsmith for Cam Thomas.
I mean, I don't hate him going to Miami. It's a better situation than the Nets.
But now you have Hero and Cam Thomas.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can work with it.
that's I mean, I guess they go 1-on-1 a lot. Hero's more of a playmaker than Thomas is.
Hero has been a big time playmaker this year. So if Hero can like do some weird transition to being like a full time point guard or something, or maybe Cam Thomas is the point guard.
This is what I mean, this isn't a bad trade to me. I could see Cam Thomas on the Heat.
I can see Cam Thomas on the Heat. He's got the Mamba mentality, which is the Pat Riley thing. You have to be a Heat type player. What is it? Heat culture. He's definitely got it. Cam Thomas is a gym rat, 100%. Plus, he's been on the Draymond Green show. He's been on JJ Redick's pod when he had a pod. The old man in the three. You know what I'm saying? I feel like no like media people fuck with him, but the people who actually matter in the NBA world fuck with him heavy and see and believe in his star potential, or
And
at
you
least in his talent. Maybe they don't believe in him being the guy on Gatorade commercials and his face is at Target modeling T-shirts. Maybe he's not Jason Tatum, but at the same time, he still is going to produce for you on the basketball court.
and you're also playing with better centers. You're playing with Bam Adebayo and Khalil Ware. And Ware's had a great month of January. Bam sucks. I don't know what happened to Bam Adebayo. He sucks all of a sudden. He's a horrible basketball player. I don't know what happened to him.
Because Khalil Ware.
Yeah, Khalil Ware's been
Khalil
hooping.
Ware is that good. Do you remember what I was talking about pre-draft?
Khalil Ware.
Khalil fucking Ware.
He's had a great month of January.
I had 3 guys that I said would be locks. Khalil Ware was one of them.
Called it.
And I even on the show, I got paid to go on what was it called? Not boards, the buckets. Fuck, I forget Dream Shaker's show. Anyway, I did a spot in the draft because multiple people actually asked me to come on their draft show live. Stream because of my mock drafts and everything else. So went on there. It was a good time. And I said, Khalil Ware, as soon as he got drafted to the Heat and the dude's a Heat fan, I said, you won the draft. I said, really? So everyone's saying he's lazy. I said, if he's lazy, he averaged a double-double. If he's lazy, imagine if he goes to the Heat and Pat Riley wakes him up a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to be lazy averaging a double-double.
The dude averaged 17 and 10, like a legit double-double. Like,
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say he's lazy when he's averaging a double-double.
Let me see. Share this tab instead. So we're on Khalil Ware. Look at this. 15.9 and 9.9. That's 16 and 10. Legit. 16 and 10 a night. And they said he had motor issues. He averaged 2 blocks. I'm sorry, but you can't get 16 and 10 in Division I basketball and be successful and shoot threes and play defense the way he does and everything, and then just get called lazy.
Right.
I think it's ridiculous. I think that's lazy to say that about him and to call him lazy. Like, do you not see what he's doing? I don't know. That's just how I feel.
I don't know who wrote that.
No, that's been his whole thing throughout college. Everyone said he had motor issues and he was lazy, takes plays off, and yada, yada, yada. I think a lot of people do. I think every player on the court is taking a play off.
So what do you got with these Jimmy Butler trades?
Anyway, yeah, let me show you some Jimmy Butler trades. Let's get back to the sauce.
Because I mean, it seems like he wants to go to the Suns, obviously, but now they're saying he'd go anywhere but Memphis.
So let me show you the Grizzlies trade. Just to spite Jimmy Butler. It's a spite trade.
All right.
So we're sending Jimmy to Memphis. And all that it really takes is, watch this. Smart, Clark, Kennard. Successful.
No picks?
Under the well, you don't have to add picks, but you could add picks, which I believe you would need to add picks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So let's say Memphis sends out just next year's first. What else do you think you'd have to get for Jimmy Butler?
You probably got to trade a couple first round picks. At least I would think.
Oh, this would be locked up. Can't trade that one. So try to trade 2 firsts. 2 firsts, and we'll trade 2 seconds.
It's just kind of hard to say it because, I mean, teams are giving out picks like they're candy.
I know.
Like with the Michael Bridges trade.
All right, how about this one? How about a swap in 3 firsts, but one is a swap in 2 seconds?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if Michael Bridges is worth 5 first-round picks, then what is Jimmy Butler worth?
Right. But this is a disgruntled Jimmy Butler with a big contract, and he most likely can opt. He could opt in. He has a player option next year for $52 million, so he could fuck your cap up too.
Mm-hmm.
He's potentially a nuke.
That's true.
You know, so like Jimmy Butler does come with some warning. So 3 firsts, but in reality it's 2 firsts because it's just a swap. So if that pick is better than yours, then if you want to get it then, you could get it then. Or you can make a deal to take the worst pick and maybe you get a second in exchange or something like that too. Teams do things like that, write it into the contract.
Yeah, I don't hate that trade. I mean, you lose some shooting, but
Right, you lose
with that,
shooting, but Smart has been hurt and hasn't really been fully functional.
that's true. Yeah, he's barely been healthy since he's gotten to Memphis.
Right. So losing Smart would almost be like losing nothing because he hasn't really been anything to the offense. And he can't even really start. Let's be real.
Yeah, but
You're
you
gonna put
lose.
him at the small forward spot. He's 6'3". You're gonna play next to Bane, who's 6'3". Play next to Ja, who's 6'2".
I would think he'd be the backup.
Right, he'd be the backup. That's an expensive backup when you could get Jimmy Butler instead.
But you're losing Kennard shooting damn near 50% from 3 this year.
Kennard's another shooting guard. You got 2 shooting guards you're losing because Smart's not playing the point. I mean, it says he's a point guard. He could run point a little bit, but Ja plays the majority of the minutes. And you would probably want Smart out there with Ja because he'd probably complement him in the way to play defense and some playmaking for him.
Yeah, I would just find it weird to have Smart, Morant, and Bane on the floor at the same time.
Right. And then
I
at
don't
the
know
same
how
time, are
that.
you going to have Smart? No, not Smart. You're going to have Morant, Bane, and Kennard?
I mean, I like that better than Smart on the
Right.
court.
I do like it a little bit better because Kennard's a little bit bigger.
Because you have 2 catch and shoot guys in Bane and Kennard that Morant can find.
Yeah. But I mean, you still have shooting. Getting Jimmy Butler, Jimmy will shoot a 3 here or there. It's not like he's fully against it like DeMar DeRozan was for a while. You also get, you still have Bane. Jaka hit a 3. And Triple J.
And I already
You
think
still have 3 shooters.
the Grizzlies are contenders.
Santi Aldama can hit a 3. Who else is going to be out there? Jake LaRavia. He can hit a 3 here or there. He's not a sniper necessarily, but
Right. But I like that trade. I like that trade.
that trade actually works. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. So let me put a little X so I know which one. All right, this one, keeping it in the East. Miami is sending Jimmy Butler to the Hawks.
Wow.
So I got first. Let me send Jimmy and Jovic. So this is the way it's got to work. Jimmy and Jovic for Bogdan Bogdanovic, Onyeka Okongwu,
No.
Larry Nance Jr.,
No way. You can't trade on Kongu.
and keeping Capella.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, that's a
Keeping
horrible.
Capella and Hunter. So now you got Hunter and Butler, bro. Hunter's been on a tear, and he's a full dog now. So I think Jimmy Butler going in there is gonna just be like, you got 2 dogs.
No, you cannot trade on Kongu. Oh my God.
Well, this is what it's got to be. If you want Jimmy fucking Butler on your team, you need to trade Onyeka Okongwu from Chino Hills.
Bro, I'm all set.
So this is it right here. This works. You know, you got Cody Zeller, Larry Nance, Onyeka, and Bogdan to the Heat. Onyeka, there's another big you could mix and match with Bam and Khalil Ware now.
I like the trade for the Heat.
Right? For the Heat, it's great. I love it.
Great for the Hawks. I don't like it.
And then the Hawks get Jimmy Butler and Jovic. So the Hawks lose this trade getting Jimmy Butler, in your opinion?
Yes.
Interesting.
Nkungu's this is probably his best season so far. He just seems like he's getting better and better. They've moved him into the starting lineup the last 2 or 3 games, and Capella's been brought up in a bunch of trade discussions too. So,
but how would you like a team with it's Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Jimmy Butler, Jalen Johnson, and Clint Capella, and then DeAndre Hunter as the 6th man? Plus, you still have Risashe, the first pick, who's probably going to come in 7th man type shits, the other wing.
I think they're a better defensive team. I mean, that's a really good defensive team aside from Trae Young.
Jalen Johnson, Butler, Daniels, and Capella.
Yeah, I mean that's really good defensively, but
so this trade works, and I really like it.
All right.
I don't, like I said, I know you don't like it.
Look,
it works.
Disagree. I like the Grizzlies trade.
Yeah, you just don't understand. Like, bro, none of these trades work. I've tried with so many teams, and the teams that I have for the Jimmy Butler trade show are Grizz, Hawks. I don't want to spoil the rest. Right. But
how many do you have?
I got 4 more after this, and I have a bunch of other ideas of different players. This is just Jimmy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna finish up Jimmy. I got 4 more teams for Jimmy.
Wow.
So let's wrap this up. But I like the Jimmy conversation because this is a guy who led the team in 2 finals.
In 3 conference finals appearances.
3 conference finals, 2 actual finals, and busted ass as the best player and never looked like he didn't deserve to be there. So I like Jimmy Butler. I'm rooting for him. I know he's older now, but I'm going to say this right now. We're going to trade Jimmy Butler
to the Bucks.
To the fucking Thunder.
You're out of your mind.
We're trading Jimmy James Butler for Isaiah Hartenstein and Lou Dort.
For what else?
Oh, and then the Thunder would obviously have to throw in. Look at all their firsts.
Jesus Christ.
They have how many first-round picks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They have 16 first-round picks. So let's say that this is the Heat, right? So the Heat are smart. They want probably like a Philly first from next year because it's protected to the 7th or to the 6th. So if it's 7th or worse, you keep it. And the Philly is going to be 7th or worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to get the 5th or 6th pick. They're going to get the 8th or 9th pick potentially. So I think that's a good pick to get. We could look in the future for some too, but like Houston's first, no good next year. The Clippers first, no good next year. Miami could get their own pick back from the Heat, which is probably something that he would do. Pat Riley's like, yeah, I want to control my draft. Let me get Jimmy Butler. Lou Dort's hurt right now. Ihart's been hurt a little bit this year too.
I don't know if you'd give up. I mean, you need a center. Then you'd have to. If you're the Thunder, you'd have to trade for another center because you don't know when Chet's going to be back.
But they play anybody there. They play JRE. They play Kenrich Williams. They play fucking J-Dub. Both J-Dubs. J-Dub and J-Will.
You got to have some kind
play
of
the center.
You got to have some kind of size there. Those are too small. Pause.
I mean, they did it last year though, but like they had trouble in the playoffs and everything else.
That's
but you have less of those playoffs with Jimmy. I mean, problems with Jimmy Butler. I feel like he does patch up some of the. I know he does. He isn't the center, but
Yeah.
he offers new problems for you that you have to deal with in other ways.
And they're a pretty good defensive team, so that helps their defense. I mean, at least on guards and forwards
Right.
and around the
So,
perimeter. But
yeah,
I mean,
I'd say maybe it would probably have to be like more future firsts, like a 28 Denver pick. If I'm the Heat, do you gamble? Is Jokic still playing in 2028? In 3 years, is he still going to be at the top of his game and playing for Denver?
yeah, I like that trade for the Heat more than I like the trade for the Thunder.
Oh, well, either way, it would be Dort and Hartenstein. And Dort would fuck with Miami. There's a lot of Haitians in Miami.
Mm. And the Heat have three centers.
Yeah, it's like a giant community down there. But yeah, 3 centers. They would have 3, but at the same time, Bam wants to play the 4, right?
Yeah.
Saying that he's been crying that he's AD for his whole career. So you could put Isaiah Hartenstein out there with Bam, see what's up, go do some 4 shit, go space the floor, Bam. Show us what's up. All right, so yeah, that's what we got right now. These damn ads. Yep, that's the Thunder one. Let me find the next one. Heat, and let me check this one off. Oh, this one's gonna tickle your fancy right here. Heat and Cavs.
Wow. Okay.
This one's fun. So we'll start off, of course. We just got to send Jimmy Butler there. He's also going to go with a friend, Alec Burks.
Alec Burks.
There's a lot of movement here. But we're going to start off by sending Karis LeVert, Max Strus, Isaac Okoro, and George Niang. And that's the only way this trade is actually successful. And I've tried it every other way possible. And this is the only way to do it, is to trade basically 4 wings for 1.
You lose. I don't. I like that trade better than the other 2 trades.
Right? You get rid of the minivan. All of these guys like try to supplement all of the things that Jimmy Butler does in one person. But they're in 4 different people and they don't do it collectively. And I think if you just get Jimmy Butler, instead of giving these guys, letting Karis LeVert play 24 minutes, Strus play the other 24, Isaac Okoro play, at the 3, the 4, whatever. You're letting all these guys play 48 minutes worth of stuff, when in reality, you could just have Jimmy Butler out there in the playoffs for 44 minutes. And he's doing all of that shit that you're trying to fill in with all of these guys.
Yeah, I like that trade. You do lose some shooting, but I'm not going to be too upset about losing George Niang if I get Jimmy Butler.
It's Strus and Niang and Max Strus, respectfully. The NBA comes down to like pedigree sometimes with certain like athletes and things. He played Division II basketball, bro.
Now
like Strus isn't the highest pedigree. That dude earned everything he ever got, and I'm not taking away from him. But bro, right now he is an aging former Division II basketball player.
Hmm.
And it shows sometimes. He can't defend like that. He can still shoot with the best of them. Don't get me wrong. Strus is still smart and everything else. He can play the game. He knows it. He knows where his spots are. He just can't guard the way he used to. And it's only going to get worse from here. So you either get Jimmy Butler now and go for the championship while you're the 1 seed, or you hold on to Max Strus as he ages out. We've seen it with Pat Connaughton. I'm telling you, these athletic white guys, they fall off at 32.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
If they start nearing 30, if they even smell 32, if their number is 32, they might start aging rapidly before our eyes. and they just get no bounce anymore. You're like, damn, Pat Connaughton, you had a 6-inch vert at the combine. You're tying records and shit, or 42, 44, something like that. But tying records at the combine and all types of shit. And now you see him, he probably dunks twice a year if he's lucky.
He doesn't play as much anymore.
He doesn't play as much. It's just sad. You'll see it with Dante DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo's a high flyer. One day, he just won't be flying no more.
Damn, I don't know. DiVincenzo is more of an athlete than those two guys.
Just wait. Just wait till Dante has, because he's got bad ankles.
Yeah, he does. He's got
those athletic, high jumping dudes. Once you start getting the high ankle injuries and all those sprains, then you get the calf pulls on the back end. They start getting older, then they get calf strains.
He's got a bad
the front of their ankle is so weak, they overcompensate with the back of their ankle. Now you got tendon issues, and it gets worse and worse. I know how this goes. As a 30-year-old white man with bad knees and cracky ankles. This is what it is. You get a couple bad ankle injuries early, you put mad stress on the back of your calves and your Achilles, and shit wears on you.
Yeah, but it is. I like that trade.
So yeah, this is a trade that could be possible. Look at these little ads. Get these fucking ads out of here. So yeah, this trade works. Move on. We got 2 more, and then we could go on to some other players. Talk about them. The Heat. Ooh, this is a fun one. This is a real fun one. The Heat are sending Jimmy Butler to the San Antonio Spurs. So we'll send Jimmy. And we got to send Alec Burks just for fun. The contract just works perfect. $2 million. And now we'll send Keldon Johnson, Zach Collins, Malachi Branham, and Blake Wesley to the Heat. And
gotta throw in some picks probably.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, the Spurs would have to throw in some picks, but you're getting Keldon Big Body Johnson, which is a great player. Zach Collins could be a good backup. You get Branham, who is a really good prospect, and he also came out of St. Vincent St. Mary, and he's the last player since LeBron to come out of there. And I just think he, going to the Heat, that's kind of cool. Pat Riley with LeBron. And
he looked
maybe
good.
He doesn't like LeBron anymore. Maybe that's not a good thing.
And Branham looked good last year with the Spurs.
He did. When he gets to play, he can hoop.
Yeah,
and Blake Wesley his handle's just so sloppy, but he's a freak athlete and he can do some things. So I don't know. Maybe the Heat take a chance on these guys. See if any of them actually could just fit inside the Heat and work and be a cog in the wheel. I'm pretty sure if they get their hands on these 4 players, they'll find at least 2 that work for them and 2 they can trade away for things that do work. But Jimmy Butler going to the Spurs with Alec Burks, you're getting some of everything, some playmaking, some defense, some scoring, and some veteran leadership for Wemby. And I think a face like Jimmy Butler, and then you got like Chris Paul on the squad. Harrison Barnes is still going to be there. You have some vets and some guys with real playoff pedigree. Like Harrison Barnes has been to a finals before. He's won a finals before, right?
2015.
He's a championship level player. Jimmy Butler has brought his team by himself to the championship twice. Harrison Barnes has been a role player as a 3rd or 4th guy on the team. I think 3rd because Draymond's not even a scorer. So Barnes was really the 3rd option on those teams. So like Harrison Barnes won a championship as a 3rd option. Then you got Jimmy Butler, brought a team to the championship twice as a 1st option. You also have Chris Paul, who's never been to a championship, but has led a bunch of great teams and has had a terrible string of injury luck throughout his whole career. He'll break his hand in the playoffs in the 2nd round, like going for a steal, and his whole fucking hand just breaks and he has to get surgery. Or Blake Griffin will punch what did he punch? The fire hydrant You know
Mm.
what I'm talking about?
I thought Amari Stoudemire did that.
No, Blake Griffin punched the water boy.
Oh, he punched Waterboy.
He
I
punched
remember.
the towel boy, broke his hand punching the towel boy.
I don't remember that.
That's what he did. Random ass shit, bro. The randomest shit happens to Chris Paul every
And
time.
he got hurt during that Rockets conference finals run.
He got hurt in the Rockets, right? Even when he went to the Rockets with James Harden, when he swiped at a ball, broke his hand again. He broke his thumb one year, broke his hand another year. He just had the worst luck. Every time he was on a great team, he got hurt and the team fell apart immediately. They said, we ain't got Chris Paul, we lost.
Looked like they had the Warriors on the ropes that series too.
Yeah, I think they were up 3-2, and then he breaks his hand, and then the Warriors win 2 straight
No,
and win in
I
7
thought he
games.
hurt his. I thought he hurt his knee on that.
Maybe it was
I think
the
he hurt it.
Warriors one was his knee?
Yeah, I think what was it, 2018? I thought. Yeah, I think it was 2018. He hurt.
That might have been the knee. Bro, every year it's something with Chris Paul.
Yeah,
So it just seems like if you get Jimmy Butler on that team with Wemby, there's no excuses. Even if Chris Paul gets hurt, I still think they could push their way through and figure it out.
I would take that chance. I like that.
Imagine
trade.
you still got Trey Jones. You still got Jeremy Sohan, who was your point guard last year. So worst case scenario, you still got Sohan. Jimmy could run some point responsibilities. You got Vassell, who could bring the rock up. Wemby damn near brings the rock up whenever he can. So they'll figure it out. And I think this is the play. You trade Jimmy Butler for these guys and obviously some picks.
I never want to see Jeremy Sohan run point again.
Me neither. But the Spurs have some picks. When you look at the Spurs have almost as many picks as OKC. They have 4 first-round picks this year.
Man.
So they could get, if the Hawks were chips and got the first pick again, the Spurs could have stole the first pick, like Ritchie. Wow.
Throwing a couple picks.
Yeah, so you could throw in a couple picks, and I mean, there's an endless whatever. It goes through. We don't have to get too caught up in the Spurs picks, but Jimmy to the Spurs works. And the last one I have, it almost ties back to the first one I did. The Pistons. So let's say Trajan Langdon, the new GM, he's very young guy. He's like 40 or under. And let's say he's just, feeling a little ballsy, maybe a little too trigger happy early. And he trades for Jimmy Butler. Young and ambitious. He's like, let's get Jimmy Butler. Cade's going off. I'm the GM. Things are going good. People like the team. I drafted Asar Thompson. They like that. Ron Holland's been all right. Haven't played too much, but he's looked all right. Ivy's hurt. We need something. Cade's ready to go. They're talking about the playoffs. They're talking about all-star for Cade Cunningham. We got to do something. He's an all-star now. He's going to put pressure. He might want to trade. He might want to leave if I don't show up. I want to win right now, and I don't believe in him, and I want to build around him. We trade for Jimmy Butler. So he's going to trade Tim Hardaway Jr. and Beef Stew. And Beef Stew is a really, really Heat-type player. That's Heat culture, if I ever heard of Heat culture. Hold on. This trade was working earlier.
This might be your strongest pitch out of all the trades.
Really?
No, it just sounded like it. You're very enthusiastic.
Maybe I like Trajan Langdon.
I guess you do.
He drafted Cam Thomas. He must be smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trusting his judgment. And if he makes a big swing like this, I don't know what else needs to happen. You've exceeded. The Pistons got too much money? Is that what it's telling me?
Get your money up.
Shit. I swear this trade worked earlier.
The Pistons would have to give the Heat.
Wait, hold on. Maybe did I do this wrong? Is it him? Oh. It's not Beef Stew. It's Tobias Harris. I must have misclicked. because I wrote beef stew. So it'd be Jimmy Butler, which you don't even want Tobias Harris anyway, because that dude, he's a Drew Holiday. He's top fixer in the league when it comes down to it. That man will literally forget how to play basketball for the last couple possessions.
But Holiday will actually make game-winning plays where Harris has never done that.
No, he's the other side of the game.
He's the losing side of the game.
He is. Well, no, I've been on the losing side of Drew too.
Every time, but at least Drew wins.
Drew does win. That's the point. But anyway, yeah, Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr. for Jimmy Butler, and you get to keep Beef Stew, which is also somebody I like next to Jimmy Butler. Imagine Jimmy Butler at the 3 and you got Beef Stew at the 4. Who's fucking with y'all?
A lot of teams.
All right, but prison ball, 2-on-2. Who do you want? Jimmy Butler and Beef Stew?
Prison ball, I would definitely want Isaiah Stewart.
You'd want Isaiah Stewart and Jimmy Butler every time. Because you know they would be the dirtiest motherfuckers and nobody will want to catch a bow.
But you'd have to send like 1,000 first-round picks for that.
Yeah, you'd have to send a lot. You'd have to make it work. And like I said, I'm Trajan Langdon. I'm the GM. I'm young. I'm spunky. I don't need things. I don't need this first-round pick next year. I got Ron Holland last year. I drafted Cam Thomas. I still think he's my player. He's still counting as one of my players right now because I drafted him. Who else am I going to? I've been sent. Look how much second-rounders I got. I'll send you 42 second-round picks for Jimmy Butler.
I don't want these second-rounders, man.
But quite literally, they have like 15 second-round picks.
Damn.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 firsts. So there's a lot of potential there. I think the Pistons could actually make something happen because they have the cap space to do it and they got the picks. So that's for the Jimmy Butler section. I mean, I don't know who else you want to trade. Let me get back to this. I don't know why I closed the tab. So you mentioned Cam Johnson. So what was your first team that you thought of was sending Cam Johnson to?
What did I say? I said the Grizzlies.
Did we do that already?
I think we did that. Yeah, we did that at the start.
What about?
I can see him on the Grizzlies. You add some more shooting.
What about Cam Johnson to the Timberwolves?
Yeah, you need another scorer. I mean, we don't know how long DiVincenzo is going to be out for. And you don't really have, a consistent scoring option aside from Edwards. I mean, Naz Reid has been really good off the bench, but yeah, I wouldn't mind Cam Johnson on the Timberwolves.
Is this another double Cam trade?
Could be. That's Cam Thomas and Anthony Edwards have the ball in their hands a lot.
Bruh.
So you only have one basketball. I don't know.
One basketball, Edward. Nah, that wouldn't work.
That's what I mean.
I don't want to do that to his career.
I like just.
I low key like Cam Thomas and Julius Randle together.
I hate that.
I love it. It's gonna be the best brand of basketball you ever seen in your life.
No, it isn't. Don't put that into the universe.
At Brooklyn you can just play freely. That's what D'Lo says.
Yeah, that's a real winner there.
It'll be D'Lo, Randall, Cam Thomas. Oof.
That's
inefficient.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about Randall. Jesus, he sucks.
Yep. So, yeah, Cam Johnson and somebody else. Maybe
I wouldn't hate on the
What?
I wouldn't hate Cam Johnson on the Timberwolves.
Yeah, so I'd say Cam Johnson on the Timberwolves, but I feel like you got to send somebody over to match the cap, and it's got to be, I don't know, maybe. Oh, Zaire Williams. Okay. So Cam Johnson and Zaire Williams for Julius Randle. Maybe some picks would be involved.
Damn, do Randall like that.
But it would be like this. It would be like Cam Johnson and Zaire Williams for Julius Randle.
What
And
about
and then you basically have, who's your point here? So you have Russell, Cam Thomas, Bojan if he comes back, Julius Randle, and Nick Claxton.
Hmm.
Ben Simmons, 6-man.
that's a roster there.
It's a roster.
That's quite the lineup. What about Cam Johnson on the Bucks? Why not? Why not get a third scoring option?
Third scoring option. I'm into that.
Come on.
All right. Cam Johnson to the Bucks.
Are you gonna put on the tab or no?
Oh, my bad. Thank you for reminding me. I'm over here doing all this stuff. Okay. So right now we have Cam Johnson to Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
And to trade and get Cam Johnson, you would have to send
Middleton.
Portis
has been brought up in discussions. I don't know if I want to get rid of Portis. Get rid of Connaughton.
It would be.
I don't know.
I have to find the money to fill this in.
I don't even know if anybody wants Connaughton though.
So what is it? The Nets basically are taking too much money.
Damn.
But what could you trade?
That goddamn Middleton contract.
I know the Middleton contract is so weird. 31.
You should not be making as much as you're making.
Oh man. Even this, look, this that won't work. Gotta make up 14.
Yikes.
You do like this. Nope, it still doesn't work. I think the Bucks are fucked.
Damn, it's just not meant to be.
Yeah, it's just way too much. Does Connaughton have to be in it? Let's say they have to keep Connaughton. Exceeded the allowable income by $500,000. Okay. Or no, just a full million. So I need to drop a full mil. Send Trent and Watford. Oh shit, it worked.
Cam Johnson to the Bucks.
Cam Johnson to the Bucks with Zaire Williams and Trent and Watford for Chris Middleton. The Bucks would literally have to give everything for that to happen. And they do have a lot of firsts coming up. I actually kind of slept on the war chest of picks they had.
Yeah, throw in one or two.
Yeah, so this would be. Oh, Brooklyn would get their pick back? Brooklyn doesn't have their pick? Oh no, that's forgive me. Yeah, this is the Bucks picks. They have 1 second rounder in the next 10 years.
Damn.
That's sad.
Need those picks.
2031. They got a second rounder. But this is basically what they would have to do here would be trade the 2030.
Gotta write this down.
What, this trade?
No, I'm want to write down who we think is going to places, and then we see it come February 6th.
Oh, okay. These New Orleans picks are worth a lot. I don't know if they want to get rid of them
All right, so Cam Johnson.
because the Bucks might need a rebuild pretty soon.
Cam Johnson going to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, let's say it would be
Grizzlies, Bucks. Yeah. What was the other team we said for Cam Johnson?
There were many teams we said for Cam Johnson.
No, there was one more though.
What were they?
It was Grizzlies, Bucks, and
what the last one we just did?
What was the one we did before the Bucks?
Let me look at the teams real quick. Did you say Cavs?
No, I didn't say the Cavs for Cam Johnson. We said it for Butler. I don't know why I can't think of it.
Wasn't Pistons?
No, that was Butler too.
Then it was in the West. Timberwolves.
Yeah, that's what it was. All right. Those would be three options.
Yeah, apparently this could be something that can get done. Let's say it would be, they would get a lot of stuff. The Bucks would get a lot of stuff here. A lot of wing depth, which they need. They need defenders. Trenton Watford could play some defense. Zaire Williams could play some defense and hit the three. They all can hit the three and play the wing. Like they need this badly.
Yeah.
They need to trade the house for it. So I would say probably these picks and maybe even fuck it the second rounder too. So it would be Chris Middleton, a corpse, the shell of Chris Middleton, and three firsts, which in reality it's 2 firsts and 1 swap. So it's the swap in 31. Whoever has the better swap, the team will take it. And yeah, this is who the Nets will be giving up. Cam Johnson, Zaire Williams, and Trenton Watford. You take Chris Middleton. You have some veteran leadership, some championship level pedigree from somebody. Hopefully they could coach up some guys while he's there for the next year, because he has this year and next year. And then I think he's an unrestricted free agent after that. So this could be the move for the Nets. 1 year of like tanking, you get Cooper Flag, you get to put Chris Middleton, a real shooter that spaces the floor, and Cam Thomas, who's a real shooter who spaces the floor as well, next to like Cooper Flag or something. And you got real competent shooting from his rookie year, and it's something good to walk into. So that could be a Cam Johnson deal. Who's another player that could potentially be on the move?
Nikola Vucevic.
Vooch? That's not even a fun trade. All right, let's see. Vooch. Who needs a big?
Warriors.
Okay, Vooch to the Warriors.
You sound so disgusted.
It's like gross. Why did you come up with this? It was almost as bad as when I put George Niang in a deal. So Vooch. Vooch for GP2, and they can't get rid of Loon Dog. Would they really do this?
If they need to add some more scoring in the paint.
Oh, Golden State's still getting too much money from this? Oh shit. So then how about you trade Lindy Waters for this works.
See?
So it'd be Vooch, and the Bulls would get picks too. So it'd probably be, this would probably be some seconds or something.
You could also put him on the Lakers potentially. Because AD's a baby and he doesn't want to play the 5.
So yeah, this is what we'll do. The Warriors will trade the Mitten, Slow-Mo, and Lindy Waters
The Mitten.
plus 2 second-round picks for Vooch.
All right.
And that's their big trade to get an extra big and to make a playoff push. Let's see the next one. You said the Lakers?
Because, I mean, if the Lakers need a center, they don't really have a center because AD
So can I interject?
Is a crybaby.
I think. Oh wait, no, this isn't what I wanted to do.
I do think the Lakers need to add something though. They need to add somebody. They need to add another all-star.
So this is who I think they're gonna add.
But maybe
Valanciunas.
Oh, not Kuzma. No, okay, I was gonna say.
No, Valanciunas is gonna be the play. And they could trade either Vanderbilt or Gabe Vincent, which I think Gabe Vincent's the one that's worth it.
Yeah.
And you could trade them straight up, Gabe Vincent and Valanciunas, but the Lakers would obviously have to trade a pick for that. But what I think could happen is potentially like 2 second-rounders or something.
Right. I like the Valanciunas trade.
Like this year, look, they could trade 2 from this year, 2 second-rounders and Gabe Vincent for Valanciunas. Plus, they even shave a little money off the cap because Gabe is worth $11 million and Valanciunas is worth 9.9. So they save 1.1 million off the cap. It helps them lower in their tax apron, which probably saves them, instead of 1.1 million, it probably saves them like 4 million after all the bullshit they have to do.
I like that trade.
So this is my idea and how I think the Lakers could get better at the 5. I think Valanciunas is cheaper than Vooch, but we could check it out. Let's try the Lakers and the Vooch trade. So first, Vooch the Gooch will go to the Lakers. And now you have to give up like Rui or something. Or maybe, no, let's say you still do the same thing. Let's say Gabe Vincent and what else would you give up? Would you do Max Christie and Jalen Hood-Schifino, or would you do Vanderbilt?
I wouldn't want to give up Vanderbilt.
I know, right? Like when he comes back, he's going to be a problem.
No, he's back.
He's back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Is
he a problem?
Last night. No,
last night he's back? All right, good. Because I'm like, I should know. Okay, we got a commenter here saying Blazers, Paul George, Cam Johnson, Drummond, Lowry, 76ers. Yo, this team is this a 4-team trade? Desmond, thank you for commenting. First time commenter, shout out to you.
That's what it's gonna be now. All those trades now are like 3-4 team trades.
Yeah, that's a crazy trade. Holy cow. I'm down to make it though.
Somebody must be a Blazers fan.
Right. So he's definitely a Blazers fan.
Or a Paul George hater. I don't know.
So yeah, let's say Max Christie and Jalen Hood-Schifino.
I like Christie too, though. But yeah, I'd rather have Vanderbilt over Christie.
So it'd be something like this, maybe, and some picks, probably like 2 second-rounders, like we said. If we go over here, you add these 2 second-rounders from the Lakers. Now you're sending some young talent, unproven, some proven. Max Christie has played. We kind of see what he's all about. Jalen Hood-Schifino, little unproven. And then Gabe Vincent, last year on his deal. You're just hoping for the best. But they get Vooch. They get a big man. And AD is happy, so hopefully AD plays harder. I want to check this thing out, though. Blazers, Paul George, Cam. Like, what? What is this? Let's attempt to make this. So that means Philly and then Nets are involved. Okay, let's see. Philly and Brooklyn. Okay, so let's start this trade. So we're sending Cam Johnson to Portland. Then I'm going to Philly because we're also sending Paul George to Portland. I seen DeAndre Ayton was supposed to go where? The Nets get Ayton.
Ew.
I gotta see this, bro. I
Ew.
gotta see this.
Oh my god.
Oh, the Blazers get Drummond too. Okay, I'll build this out for you, Desmond.
Can't forget.
We'll see it. Oh, and Lowry. No way. Lowry has a no trade clause. Fucking asshole. How does he have that? It's ridiculous. It says can veto trade. You don't see that next to anybody.
Jesus.
What else? We got there's some pick swaps. Jeremy Grant. Oh. So is Philly getting Philly gets Jeremy Grant and Ben Simmons? Are you dead serious?
He's got to be trolling at this point.
At this point, but let's see if it works.
Simmons back to Philly. There's
Simmons back to Philly.
just no possible way.
Am I missing anybody in this? Did I send them to the wrong place? Oh, I think I sent Drummond to the wrong place.
You sent Simmons to the wrong place going back to Philly, too.
Yep. He's supposed to go to Portland. All right, so this is who the Blazers are supposed to acquire. Paul George, Cam Johnson, Drummond, Lowry. Paul George, Cam Johnson, Drummond, Lowry. Okay. 76ers are to acquire Jeremy Grant, Ben Simmons, and Duop Reith.
Duop Reith.
We love Duop Reith.
It's a Duop Reith podcast now.
No bullshit. We do love us some Duop.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, wop, wop. Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo, pop, pop, yeah. Duop, you can't tank with Duop Reith. He's too good. The fuck you mean?
Duop Reith is not going to be here forever.
For real. You got to use Duop Reith while he's still available.
Exactly.
Oubre, Kelly. Oh my God. Oubre, Caleb Martin, and Thibault. Okay.
Thibault hasn't even played this year.
Thibault to Brooklyn. Caleb Martin to Brooklyn. Oubre to Brooklyn. I think this is everybody you said. Ayton, Oubre, Caleb Martin, and Thibault. The trade is successful.
That's a tremendous troll job.
I don't know how you did this, Mr. Desmond, but this is impressive. This is an ultimate three-teamer. So the Nets, I can't even fathom this trade. It seems like Portland doesn't even give up too much. Because I don't even see losing Ayton as too much. I like Klingon. Build around him. You don't need a star scoring center who doesn't play defense. No team needs that.
Most empty double-doubles ever.
Yeah, you do not need his empty double-doubles. So dump him. And yeah, they lose. I mean, they lose Duop Reith. He's for real. Jeremy Grant doesn't even hit the boards anymore. Like, he's beyond lazy. You got Ayton and Grant. They're just like, they're checked out. They should be going to better franchises, hopefully, that could either wake them up or DeAndre Ayton might just be in mediocrity with the Nets, and they might just want him to tank.
Jeremy Grant is another name too.
Jeremy Grant came from the Sixers too. Isn't he originally from them?
And Jeremy Grant could, yeah, he might. Let me check.
I think he got drafted to, or maybe his brother got drafted there.
But Jeremy Grant, he's another guy who could get traded too. I mean,
wow, then the Blazers get good. I like the Blazers.
Yeah, he's first 2 seasons with Philly.
You know what? I really like this trade. The more I just keep looking at it, it's kind of hilarious. The Nets get some wing depth. They get a real big. Maybe they do something with Claxton in the future. Maybe this is an easy way to move him now since you have Ayton. Philly takes a big L, but at the same time, you get an expiring Ben Simmons. You could just tell him to go home. You don't even have to tell him to join the team ever. I would trade for him and just leave him. He's expiring.
You don't have to tell him twice to go home.
You don't even have to buy him out. Just pay him weekly. Just the normal way you would. Just tell him to stay home.
You don't even have to tell him twice. He's fine with staying home.
Yeah, he's fine with staying home. Get him some back massages and he'll be good. And then Jeremy Grant. That's a decent piece. I mean, Paul George has been off this year, so who knows? Maybe it'll revitalize Grant to play with Maxey, and then maybe Embiid comes back. It's interesting. I'll tell you that. I like the scoring and everything else that comes here with the Nets. Thibault's a great player to put next to Cam Thomas. You know, like Thibault don't need the ball. He doesn't even want the ball.
He doesn't even want the ball.
He doesn't. Blazers would be contenders. Drummond is better than Doo-Wop. Do you really mean that? Have you ever seen Doo-Wop knock a 3 down? You know that energy that hits the arena?
Brings tears to my eyes.
When I just think about Doo-Wop Reith.
I'm getting emotional just thinking about it right now.
It makes me want to pull the wreath out of the closet with my Christmas supplies and just look at it. Just so it reminds me of Doo-Wop Reith.
We're back in the holiday season. Shout out Doo-Wop Reith.
Big facts.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Doo-Wop Reith.
Shout out Doo-Wop Reith, always.
What else? There's Oubre's part of it. Martin. Philly's really blowing it up. This is a true Philly blow up. Which means like Embiid trades are coming after this. So yeah, Blazers start Ant, Paul George, Denny, Cam Johnson, Rob Willard Klingon. So no Scoot. This guy's anti-Scoot. I got that from this.
I'm like Scoot's playing better this year.
Right, Scoot is playing better. So maybe he gets this year, another year to get under his belt, and maybe you got to figure something out in the future with what you're going to do with Anthony Simons. He's going to be traded to the Magic or something else. I've heard a bunch of little trades with him too. You want to jump to Portland? Let's do a couple little Portland trades.
Gross.
Right here, Portland. And yeah, let's send them to the Magic. They need some shooting. They need a scoring guard. Portland, this guy's going to kill me. Desmond, he loves Anthony Simons. You want me to trade Scoot? I'll trade Scoot first.
I don't trade Scoot.
So let's see. This would be the Scoot trade. Scoot for Goga. All right. Scoot for Mo Wagner and picks. How about that? It would have to be an absorbent amount of picks. But it does look like the Magic has a little bit of a treasure trove of picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 picks. So, and probably about 12 to 15 second rounders. So I'd say they have the ammo to pull a trade like this off. There are the pieces in place. Who knows if they would want to part from Scoot or Mo Wagner? depending on how you look at that and how Franz would feel about his brother getting traded and all that. But that's a possibility.
I don't hate Anthony Simons on the Magic.
Scoot and Sharp run the second unit. Oh, okay. I know. I was wondering. I'm like, Sharp's not in there. So basically, have this team that's like a middling team that could get you in the playoffs, and then you're developing Scoot and Sharp. Is that kind of like the future goals of that team? Plus, you get Klingon getting the reps. Cam Johnson's like the solid vet to just help lead the way and steady the ship. Same with Denny. Denny's another wing that just steadies the ship. He plays great defense, rebounds his ass off, shoots open shots. He's solid. The Blazers have a lot. They're like a fun team. If you look at them and like who could I trade around and do stuff with, you could trade almost any player on their team. Like even Tamani Camara could go to a contender and be a solid like eighth man bench guy, energy off the bench. Nothing more, but he's good. Tamara, as much as he got memed and everything, getting traded from the Sun, I like Tamani Camara. And if you actually watch college basketball, Anthony Edwards' freshman year, he played at Georgia with Tamani Camara. But people don't know that about Tamani Camara because they only know about when he transferred and where he got drafted out of. And they heard about him from there. But his freshman year, he played 20-plus minutes a game with Anthony Edwards. So I knew about Tamani Camara from a long-ass time ago, and I seen him as a freshman in college. And I said, this dude could hoop. I like him. You know, I never thought he would be a star like Anthony Edwards, but you felt that he could be a piece next to a star because he helped Anthony Edwards succeed. So you could tell he's got role potential at the highest level. But anyway, we'll roll Scoot out of this. And then we could go back to Magic Portland. Portland, sorry, you're trading Ant. Ant for Isaac, straight up. Nah, it would obviously have to be picks. The Magic would give up a lot. But like I said, the Magic have ammo. Denver's pick this year isn't going to be good. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't necessarily want Orlando's pick this year. But maybe something in the future. Let's say you're trading for 2 swaps and a first over the next, 29 to 31. You own the Magic's draft rights for the next 3 years. So it's either, they have to re-sign over the next 5 years. They have to keep Anthony Simons, Paolo, and Franz all on the same deals if they want to keep this team together. I don't think that'll be possible 5 years from now. So technically, I think that could be a real move to where basically the Magic are betting these 5 years from 2024-25 season, this season on, that they're going for rings, they're title hunting. They got a scoring guard, Anthony Simons, and they got Franz and Paolo and everything else around them. They got to drop Isaac, but they got a couple other bigs to fill it in. Goga's played out of his mind. Carter's decent. Paolo played the 5 in the Olympics. Maybe you even try some small ball Paolo. Who knows? But anyway, they got 5 years to go for it all. And I don't think they could keep the team together anyway after that. So go for it. I like it. Could be fun. Oh, you would want Wendell Carter. See? Oh, you would. Interesting. As what, like a backup to Klingon long term? I believe Klingon will be good. Just Ayton is the awkward, like, elephant in the room. You're like, we all know he's not the guy, even though he is the guy. He's getting paid the money. He's getting all the minutes. He's scoring the points. He's getting his own possessions, taking the ball out of the hands of the guards and the future players. And the people probably work a little harder than him in the gym. So, I don't know. I don't like Ayton. He just seems like he has to go. The only Magic was, Wendell Carter. What about a Celtics trade? What could they do? Could they go to Utah and make a little trade for somebody?
Get Jordan Clarkson. You already have a 6th man.
I know. They got Pritchard. Do you want to do something to fill the Tillman role?
Yeah, I'd love to get Kessler, but we're not getting Kessler.
No, you don't go for Kessler.
Well, who else would I want on the Jazz?
Listen, you go for the other white guy on the Jazz.
Filipowski? You think I want Kyle Filipowski?
Why wouldn't you?
Why would I?
No, you get Drew Eubanks.
Oh, God, no. I don't want Eubanks. No.
You don't want Drew Eubanks instead of Tillman? Imagine having Cornette, Porzingis, Drew Eubanks.
I'd rather have just none of them and just have roster spots open. just release.
I'd rather save money.
I would. You know what? Valanciunas on the Celtics. We were talking about Valanciunas earlier. Put Valanciunas on the Celtics.
Put Valanciunas on the Celtics real quick. All right, then I'll try this Phoenix trade that we got in the chat. All right, so we got Valanciunas coming on over.
We're gonna get a center. Realistically, I think we can get Valanciunas.
Realistically, you're gonna end up with Rashawn Holmes.
Don't say that.
You couldn't even trade for Valanciunas unless you traded Al Horford.
Do it.
It doesn't even work.
Book it.
You've exceeded the allowable incoming trade by $4 million.
Yikes.
So basically, it would have to be Horford and Springer. Horford and Springer.
I do that.
For who is it? Valanciunas and probably like Patrick Baldwin.
I would do it though.
Wait, hold on. It doesn't work. The trade actually doesn't work. Hold on.
Damn.
Yeah, it's something with the second apron. See, it's just all a mess. But the only way you could actually do some of these second apron trades are if the team basically cuts the guy and re-signs him on a different deal, which has happened already. Like the Knicks, they signed everybody $1 above the minimum so they wouldn't hit the apron rule of not having a certain amount of minimum players.
Right.
Yeah, like little loopholes like that you can't really type into the system and make trades work, but you could in real life. It's just these are somewhat hypothetical and a very limited structure of trades. All right, so we got a Phoenix trade. Let's test this one out. I think we're sending KD to the Rockets. All right. So where is this? We're sending. Obviously, it'd be Fred VanVleet going to Phoenix. So it's KD. It's KD and Book. KD, Tyus, and Book.
Okay, now
we're getting real crazy right now.
Just trolling.
KD, Devin Booker, and Tyus Jones for VanVleet, Brooks, Smith, and Jeff Green. Brooks, Smith, Jeff Green. Oh, and Whitmore. Need to add Whitmore. You sure this one works? You've been reliable thus far. Brooks. Brooks, Smith Jr., and Jeff Green, right? Brooks, Roy Smith, Jr., Jeff Green, yeah. I don't know. This one seems to be off by a little bit.
Thank God.
It's just the second apron. The money works. The money works, but the apron rule comes in. Yeah, looks like the trade works under the old cap rules, but just not as of right now, unfortunately. I mean, we could look at NBA standings right now. Let me share this. So we did the Cavs. We looked into them. We said Jimmy Butler, Cam Johnson could be a potential trade for them. Celtics, we said Valanciunas. Maybe they can't swing a Vooch. They got to go for somebody cheap. I mean, technically, they can make a trade for Cam Thomas off the bench for $4 million.
No.
I think Pritchard makes more than him. So you put Pritchard and Cam Thomas out there, they'd score 400 points. They would break the game.
I never want
to. Who would the Knicks trade for? What do they need? Like a backup guard?
Yeah, I guess they need some more depth off the bench, maybe a wing.
You know who would be perfect for the Knicks off the bench? Melton. If he didn't have a torn ACL.
Yeah.
But, like, imagine just plopping Melton on that team.
Add some more defense, too.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He could go at the 2. He could go at the 1 when Brunson needs a breather. Like, you get a lot with Melton. We did stuff with the Bucks. We tried to trade Cam Johnson there. Potentially could be like a Jeremy Grant trade. Something. Some sort of wing. Levine, maybe even to the Bucks. We could do a Levine to the Bucks. I've actually heard that on podcasts. I just don't like to be lazy and like do the stuff that I've heard. I like to try to like come up with something that I haven't, where I'm like, all right, let me make a new thing. So yeah, Levine. But this has been in podcast chatter for some time. So we send Zach LaVine for, I think, obviously Chris Middleton and what would look to be Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Portis has been brought up in trade discussions too.
And the only reason it doesn't work is because the apron.
Damn.
So maybe try Pity Pat Connaughton.
I'd take Portis on the Celtics.
Let's see. Oh, I didn't make it work. Fuck. Almost. Still, just the second apron. I don't know what the rule is to circumvent the second apron. Yeah, we got bogged down, but we could try something else. How about, you said Levine to the Celtics?
No, I was saying I wouldn't mind Portis on the Celtics.
Oh, Port? Ugh, I don't think they would trade together.
Yeah.
We could try it. I mean, I don't know what the Celtics would give back.
Right. Who would need Portis?
The Celtics would have to trade like Al Horford and Pritchard to afford to do that. No, it would be Al Horford and Jaden Springer. And the apron still might get messed up.
But who would need Portis now off the bench? Where could you put?
But why would you want to trade Portis if you're the Bucks? I feel like he's such a good guy off the bench. The fans love him. He puts in work. He shoots threes. He rebounds. He gives a shit He might not be the best defender, but people like him. I think there could be. No. It's basically Middleton. Middleton's the move.
Yeah, definitely. That awful contract.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be Middleton. Butler to New Orleans for Zion, Hawkins, Tyson Green. Yeah. That would be interesting, but it looks like they're losing too much already. I don't see why they would want Jimmy Butler next to Brandon Ingram. You know, they kind of seem like they kind of clash. They seem like similar players in my opinion. So I don't know if that would be the best option. But it could be an option. You know, the Heat, if they want to get rid of him, they're going to get rid of him for anything. I just don't know if you're going to get Zion in return. But if the Pelicans also want out of the Zion business, then they will sell high on Zion. You know, because it could get worse from here. I think his stock has risen as of late, even though he also got hurt and he has to get, he missed the team flight and he had to work himself back in the shape and everything. But regardless, people are seeing what Zion's doing this season when he's out on the court and producing. So as of right now, he's good bread. When it's the off season and he's got some porn star pregnant and it's all a mess, yeah, it feels easier to trade the guy. And he feels like his value isn't real. But his value feels really real in the season.
But that's kind of what it is every season with him. He's been great every season he's played. But it's just
I think he needs a new scenery. And in my opinion, if we're going to do any trade for Zion, it's the ultimate trade to fully unlock him. And if he doesn't like it, and if it doesn't work out, then Zion could go kick rocks and go play in the Canadian Basketball League or the Big Three. I'm going to trade Zion Williamson to the San Antonio Spurs. He's going to play the 4 next to Wemby. And I feel like there's only a few people that Zion would ever let, kind of lead the way and be the ultimate alpha on the court and be the best player on the team. And it would be Wemby. What he would have to send out could be something like
shit ton of picks.
Keldon Johnson and Zach Collins alone. You could get this trade done. No apron bullshit. No nothing. That's how fast this trade could go. Zion for Keldon and Zach Collins. They get a big behind Yves Missi. They need a big. And Keldon Johnson, he's going to fit in the offense just like Zion did. He's not going to be as good as Zion. But he's about 6'5", 6'6", just like Zion. Big body. And goes in there and shoots in the mid-range and attacks the paint. I mean, if anything, Keldon could shoot threes better than him. So this is the trade plus a bunch of picks from the Spurs. The Spurs have, I want to say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 or 18 first-round picks. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely bananas. Yeah, Zion and San Antonio would be OP. Yes. I don't think Heat culture works with Zion. Truthfully. I don't think an old man trying to give him a pep talk and a motivational speech and a little pat on the shoulder, a slap on the ass or whatever, that doesn't work for Zion. It's going to actually have him to feel like he's inadequate or some shit because there's no way he's going to change.
Right.
Like, absolutely no way. They've already said it. David Griffin's leaked some stuff out through Brian Windhorst and other things. They want to draft this year they want a draft pick. And they're going into it this year, and they do not want their first-round pick to meet Zion. That's what I've heard on the Windhorst podcast. And he's real buddy-buddy with David Griffin because he was the old Cavs GM. And Windhorst and him go way back. So he's getting some stuff, some back-end information. And from what he knows is that Zion is a terrible, like a true cancer to the locker room. basically like telling people like we got paid, we don't even got to take this serious. It's just basketball. It's not like, apparently Zion is not like a serious basketball player by any stretch of the imagination. He doesn't really care about the league, about promoting the league and the tradition and passing the torch, and like he doesn't care about any of this shit. It's just like a basketball game that he gets paid, and that's really it. Like there's no in between, and that's pretty much the picture that Brian Windhorst and Tim Bontemps kind of painted on his podcast, and I was really kind of surprised by it, but at the same time not, because it kind of seems on brand for Zion, unfortunately. Right. If SA keeps CP3 too, I want Blazers to prioritize CP3 this offseason. Oh, so he could go in there and mentor Scoot? That sounds cool. He's just going to be a teacher. He's just going to travel the league. CP3 is going to go on every team and just mentor all the young guys. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just like a bad character type player. And apparently, yeah, Ayton is the same way. Kind of just like doesn't really care, doesn't care about the tradition. Just, hey, we're making $35 million a year playing basketball. It is what it is. It ain't nothing serious. It's fun. But some of these guys take it serious, like Kobe Bryant. That's where Mamba mentality and everything comes from. And people look up to his mentality of striving to be better, not just being happy where you are, but actually improving yourself and becoming the best you can be. And we love that. So, I don't know. If Ayton and Zion aren't going to have a Mamba mentality, I'm not going to get too upset about it. But like I said, I think Zion going to San Antonio, he's going to turn into Wemby faster than Wemby's going to turn into Zion. Wemby's his own man. Wemby likes reading books, playing chess. He's into his own hobbies. He's not one of these like partying dudes like Ja is. Ja Morant is another partier, but at least he handles it on the court. I mean, shoot, we know Ja plays basketball in the offseason because he beat up a high school kid at his gym at his house and got arrested for it. Well, they didn't get arrested, but he got charged for it. So, hey, Ja's working in the offseason. I don't see Zion beating up high schoolers at open gym. Until I see Zion beating up a high schooler, he's got to punch a 16-year-old kid in the face. And then I'll know he cares about pickup. He cares about playing serious in the offseason, and he ain't fucking around. But until then, he ain't winning shit. And that's all I got to say on Zion. He ain't winning shit because he's not punching people in pickup.
All right.
Ja Morant, Western Conference finalist.
MVP.
MVP. He's going to win the Magic Johnson Award this year.
Man.
But but for real, you just got to have that intensity for basketball. And these dudes are lackadaisical. Or how did Zion even say? He can't even say the word that I just.
Yeah,
know that.
He was trying his hardest to say that.
Lackadaisical. He says something crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, do we got any more trades? Anything you want to get to, or we're gonna pick this up next week? Because that'll be the last trade episode. This is our first. This is part 1. Next week is part 2.
Yeah, let's pick it up next week, and hopefully we get some goddamn trades finally.
I know.
But
we've been stuck in the mud. I heard about a Kelsey Plum trade last night, damn near before I heard an NBA trade. So let's get it going, NBA.
Yeah, that made me sick to my stomach. That trade.
I know when I heard, but she's not going there, right?
To the Sparks?
No, I heard Plum got traded to the Fever yesterday for like a half a second, and then I heard she got traded to the Storm and then to the Sparks. I'm hearing rumors. What really happened? I
heard there was like they were gonna have some trade in place to have Jewel Lloyd, because she requested a trade, going to the Aces, Kelsey Plum going to the Sparks, and then the Storm get some draft assets.
Interesting.
That's what I heard. I forget when free agency starts.
Oh, all right. Well,
start signing this stuff February 1st or something. Players can start signing their contracts February 1st.
Okay, so next show is going to be lit. We're going to have a bunch of information for you guys that, I mean, you could probably find readily available by Shams, but we're going to be here breaking it down. And maybe by next week, we'll see. Did Jeremy Grant get traded for Julius Randle?
We don't know.
We don't know, but we will next week. Hey, thank you, King Neptune, my boy Robert, for tuning in. Desmond, thank you for tuning in and bringing this trade energy. We're going to do some more trades next Sunday. So next Sunday, tune in. We're here every single Sunday, 11 a.m. East Coast, 8 a.m. West Coast time. So, yeah, come through next week. Much love, brother. Thank you. See ya.